Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Thursday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Now, this morning, I want us to do a little throwback. But before then, I want to go to the Adenta news site. I got a distress call yesterday from the Adenta news site. A gentleman spoke with me and told me about the fact that each time it rains, they have to contend with the rain in a very unpleasant manner. That residents around there, just like we have residents at Titigbu, where we will be tomorrow for a live outside broadcast. They can't come out, they can't go in, the streets are filled and all of that. I want you to listen to him and also see the pictures for yourself so that you can make up your mind. Now, it's a question of the rain and the roads and how the rains, each time it comes down, blocks people from going about their normal duties. So, for example, each time it rains, if you live in Kaswa in Accra, you will find that it will take you about 2-3 hours to drive from just Kaswa if you are coming towards the Kaneshi or Doko area. And my good friend, Mr. Misa, who set off on a journey about 2-3 days ago and it rained, 7 a.m., he got towards the Malam Junction almost around 9 a.m. Quite interesting. So let's go to Adenta news site, please.
Hello, Senior. Good afternoon. Please, how are you? Sorry to disturbing you. But respectfully and honestly, I am contacting you from Adenta. Yes, that is around the WAS area. There is a community called Adenta News Site. This is actually a water reception place that has been let out. And so people have built on the place now, or it's now habitable. Unfortunately, a road and gutter contract was given in 2019, around September. Not for the entire area, but for some portions. And so when the construction was done, the places that didn't have the gutter and road construction, they are now, let me say, under siege. Yes. When it rains, it is an issue of life and death. They can't go in, they can't come out. We have pushed to the assembly, we have pushed even to, I think, highways or hydro or urban roads, and it's all basically the same thing or the same song of money syndrome, money syndrome, money syndrome. So yesterday when it rained, I took the opportunity when the water or the rain level had come down to walk around and see. And it was not easy. So I am pleading and begging of you. I will send the pictures and a couple of videos to you. If you can give us a few seconds of attention on your show, I beg of you, sir. I beg of you. Thank you very much.
That is the pain of the people living in Adenta news sites. And I can imagine how many people can relate with the situation. So this is Adenta news site. Now just put the images on. Let me quickly appeal to the MC there. They said they have come to you, sir. They have written. Maybe your works department have kept the letter from you, or maybe not. But this is their plight. This is what they have to deal with each time it rains. So now imagine children going to school under such conditions. Just put the videos up there so that we can see the videos. I am not the problem. The problem is in Adenta news site. So that if children have to go to school, like what happened at Fase, where children have to cross rivers every single day to go to school, and we pretend that nothing is happening. Look at it. Just look at it. The same assembly may walk through and go and take property rates and business operation permits. And you heard him. He said he had to take time for the rain to subside before he could step out to go and check this out. Now, if you cannot live comfortably in your house after you have gone through the rigorous process of buying the land, dealing with land guards, going through the permit process, dealing with masons and artisans and carpenters and etc. that will steal your materials, dealing with foremen who might not be truthful and everything else, and then you have to come back to this particular thing, then you have a problem. There's a problem. So this is a distress call, a big distress call from the people at Adenta news site. They say, please come to their aid. Please. Somebody should go to their aid. Somebody from roads, somebody from the assembly, somebody from the ministry. Don't treat them like you're treating the people in Keta, in Anoga, and all those places where you have abandoned them. Don't treat them like that. Yesterday, I saw a video from the Volta region, the Komla Dumor Road, the whole Komla Dumor Road is flooded with electric poles right in there where the floods are, and you can see that the water is just flowing, and it's increasing. The power of that water, it's increasing, the gush. It's increasing. We are waiting for one of the poles to fall in there, electrocute and kill somebody, and then we will rush there for photo opportunities. We should not wait for that to happen at Adenta New Side. We should not wait for that to happen at Teteogu. We should not wait for that to happen at Kaswa. And you see, an engineer told me about the Kaswa situation. He said, so why can't we just plant, he said, a certain kind of grass? And I remember when my father was alive, he mentioned a similar thing because my father was a builder, a very well-known builder. And he said, but this one, we can treat it. But each time it rains, we allow the water to wash the sand. It goes all the way and it comes to block the street. And then we start driving on one part of the street. Now, let me stay in Adenta. I'm told that at the West Africa Secondary School, the headmistress, Dr. Shinofori, who was suspended by the Ghana Education Service for deciding to engage the PTA, which had been abandoned, or which had been abolished, because the PTA had been abolished, right? Dr. Shinofori was the headmistress, and that the Ghana Education Service said, because some monies had exchanged hands from the parents who were willing to support because the school is not getting what they have and what they need to be able to take care of the children, she had been asked to proceed or go on suspension so that the investigations can be conducted. Remember, I showed you a school also up north. The headmaster was asked to go on suspension. Well, now I'm told that the person is back, but we're told that we'll be giving the results of the suspension and the results of the investigation. What has happened? At WAS, for example, I'm learning with pity that the teachers now are becoming increasingly afraid of the students. Yes. You know why? I'm told that school walls have broken down. And I'm told that every now and then it's become a thoroughfare for all manner of people. Motorbikers, weed smokers, cattle, sheep coming into graze while school is going on, etc., etc. Same situation as was in the north, where they actually bring police and military to be able to hold the people off while the wall was constructed. It's happening there. And I'm told not so long ago, phones were seized. One of the assistant headmasters says, look, and GES forbids that students should have phones here. So go and seize the phones from students who have them. The phones were seized. They took it to the assistant headmaster's office. Not so long ago, calls were made. They brought in gangs from outside, and they marched straight to the assistant headmaster's office, and they went to threaten and retrieve the phones. I'm told one of the teachers had to flee for his life because the gangs came into the school looking for him. That is where we have gotten to as a country. So we can't feed the children right. We can't give them textbooks. We can't wall the schools for us to know that the teachers and the headmasters and headmistresses and who have you have full control. And yet when something happens, trying to cover up these inconsistencies because parents are trying to collaborate with school authorities to make sure that their children are not caught up in a fix, eating rice alone all year through without protein, eating gari and all sort of things without the appropriate amount of proteins that adolescents need, then we'll pick on the school authorities because they spoke to the media or because their issues came into the media, and so we will have to deal with them. There's a doctor friend of mine who says where he trained in Cuba, if there's 5% of the problem, you know that it is the family problem. So the family, the student itself, that is not performing. If it goes beyond 10% or 15%, then it becomes the teacher's problem. Because then you can compare with other teachers. If it goes beyond that, then it becomes a school problem. Because then now you can compare with other schools. But if it goes beyond a 30% that we saw in the licensure exam, the failure, the mass failure in the licensure exam, then it has to be from the education authorities. The education authorities, including the minister, deputy, whatever. But today is Thursday. So WAS issue has to be dealt with as well. West Africa Secondary School. But today is Thursday. Do you remember the Asin North by-elections? 2 persons were arrested. 2 persons. 2 persons were arrested at Asin North. One impersonating a police, one impersonating the military. The question I asked this morning is, what has happened to them? Show the video. Show them. 2 persons were arrested. One impersonating the police and one impersonating the military. They were arrested. The entire community was following them. I say not. It was a by-election, a very crucial one. One of the issues that has found presence in the secretly recorded Brugui Nabu tape involving COP Alex Mensah, Superintendent Asari, Superintendent Jebi, which were pointing fingers at the Inspector General of Police because he had taken 800 policemen to Asin North. He didn't allow the hoodlums to have a field day. He was picking them up. And he sent about 9 or so COPs to the place. And some people were not happy. They said they felt intimidated. These people were arrested there. Fake police, fake military. I ask a question. What has happened to them? We are throwing back. Now you remember that we also had a by-election in the Ashanti region where an EC officer is said to have forced agents to sign even before the election ended. What has happened? You also remember at that same place, an EC officer decided for an old woman who already had made up her mind who she wanted to vote for. The EC officer decided for her to vote for somebody else instead of the person that she wanted to vote for. What has happened? We will not forget these issues because we all want to be like Jim Mensah at the IEA, bringing reforms to the electoral process. Please play me my video.
If you MPP guy,
see the MPP guy.
Follow him.
He work fake things. MPP guy.
If you MPP guy,
see the MPP guy.
Follow him.
He work fake.
So let's play the other video. There's a new video, another video, not of the arrest. Let's move on to the other issue. So the police did a fantastic job, we're told, at Asin North. My only point of disagreement with IGP Dampari is that he has decided to centralize communication at the police headquarters. So this morning, a police spokesperson at Asankregua, what will he be doing? Because if something happens at Asankregua, touch wood, is that police PRO who would come and speak, or police commander, district commander who come and speak, and he too will get small shine. But it looks like all the shine is falling on IGP Dampare. That's my only disappointment with him. And maybe to add another one, that IGP Dampare told us at the committee that he rose through the ranks and quickly so above and beyond his mates because of academic qualifications. But we know that there's a matter in court where some people have gone to school and they also deserve to be promoted, and they are not being promoted. If you ask me my 2 points of this disagreement with him, I will say these two. But look at how the elections at Asinot were policed. They were policed to the point where a sitting general secretary of the ruling MPP, Lawyer Justin Kodia Frimpong, said that they felt intimidated and that they may be forced to take things into their own hands. Meanwhile, we have a vigilantism law that disbands all the vigilante groups. The political parties are still holding on to them, and they are now saying it's their internal security, their ushers, and everything else. When you see an usher, he looks like Ghana's strongest man. Strong man, big man, like he's an usher. How can such a person usher you and you have a peace of mind? Usher wa bought to say bengu. Or usher. How would you feel? The usher is ushering you. If he offers you a seat, you can't say you won't sit down. Yesterday, I saw one of the makeshift bullion vans, so-called bullion vans, the Conco, I call them Concos. They are still in operation. Bank of Ghana has wasted our 60.8 billion. They are still comfortable to dispense cash or to cut cash into those Concos from the security companies that the banks have engaged. Conco, I saw it in town myself. Conco, that's what I call. They are not bullion vans, they are Conco. And then we will wait for another policeman or driver or touchwood, somebody to be killed. And then we will go and give them a posthumous rank or promotion. And then we will come and make speeches and make promises. And then we will come back to using these same Concos. When Adedenko happened, did we not say that we're going to give the policemen, body cam, we're going to give them bulletproof vests, and that no policeman will go on such duties without a bulletproof vest? But when Ablekuma happened, we saw that the gentleman was not even in a bulletproof vest. And we spoke about the fact that the Bank of Ghana told us that all these Concos should immediately be stopped. We should stop using these Concos. But we are still using the Concos. And you can see clearly that the guy was trying to drive in the middle of the road against traffic, somewhere around the North Kaneshie area. He was trying to move these days, and I saw a small camera on top of the car, behind the car. And I shook my head, I laughed.